I say my name. My name is Ayabara Emanuela and I'm from Bara Mispo School. I begin my question 3, 2, 1. How much more evidence do we need to prove that climate change is real? Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and fellow stewards of this magnificent planet, today I stand before you not just as a narrator, but as a fellow citizen of our planet. We gather here amidst the vibrant forests, the majestic mountains, and the deep blue oceans, plus the skies that shelter us all. Yet, we must confront a harsh reality. Our home, this magnificent planet, is in peril. Climate change and global warming are not just distant threats. They are urgent crises that demand our immediate attention, collective action, and unwavering commitment. We often hear that we are living on borrowed time, and the clock is ticking. Our glaciers are melting, our seas are rising, and extreme weather events have become a heartbreaking norm rather than an expectation. From the wildfires that devastate communities to the hurricane that uproot lives, the effects of climate change are all around us, and they disproportionately impact the most vulnerable among us. But here is the truth. We have the power to change this narrative. United, we can combat these crises and pave a way for a sustainable future. The first step in this journey is recognizing that climate change is not merely an environmental issue. It's an economic issue, a humanitarian issue, and a social justice issue. Whatever your background, belief system, or profession, we all share this home and we are all affected by the choices we make. So I call upon each and every one of you today, join hands with your friends, your neighbors, your communities, and people from around the globe, because it's time to act, and it's time to act together. Let us reflect on the power of unity. Imagine the impact when 7.9 billion people align their efforts for one common goal. Because, as Kofi Annan once said, we have to work together as a human family to tackle climate change. Picture solar panels on rooftops all around our cities. Wind farms harnessing the power of our breezes, electric vehicles cruising along every street, and sustainable practices woven into the fabric of our lives. These actions are not just possibilities, they are our collective responsibilities. And they start with us right here, right now. But unity is not enough. We need collaboration. We need to engage with governments, businesses, advocates, activists, and communities, creating an ecosystem of innovators and advocates who will work together to create policies that protect our planet. It requires listening and learning from indigenous communities who have been caretakers of the earth for a very long time. It means supporting organizations that put sustainability at the forefront of their operation. It means committing to reducing our carbon footprints, advocating for renewable energy, and pushing for sustainable practices in all aspects of our lives. Let's not forget, as Ban Ki-moon once said, climate change knows no borders, and neither should our solutions. Through international partnerships and agreements, we can share the technology, the resources, the knowledge, which are crucial to addressing this global crisis. The time for sitting and talking is over. We have the technology, the knowledge, the resources, and the resolve. What we need now is action, because as Emmanuel Macron once said, we are killing planet A even when there is no planet B. Inaction is not an option. Climate change threatens our very existence. But when we unite, when we collaborate, our potential is limitless. Because as Barack Obama once said, we have to work together because we're the first generation to feel the effects of climate change and we're the last generation to do something about it. So I urge you today, step forward and join this global movement for change. Let today's passion ignite the spark within you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before the judges begin my timer, my name is Nasha, and I'm going to deliver a speech entitled, "It is our responsibility." And because it's our responsibility, I call upon my team from Uganda Matters Primary School to stand here with me and show everyone that it is really our responsibility. I begin my speech in 3, 2, 1. Have you ever realized that we have one earth? Ladies and gentlemen, one earth. So why destroy it? Today, I want to tell you a simple story. A few months ago, in my village, something strange happened. The rain that used to fall in November didn't come. Then our crops dried up and we suffered the famine for about 8 months. The river that we used to play near became so shallow that even the frogs left. And my grandmother looked at me and said, "The world is changing." And I asked her, "But why?" She said to me, "Because we have not taken care of it." Friends, the world is crying. The forests are disappearing. The rain is confused. The sun is getting hotter, and the air we breathe is getting dirty. Because of us, global warming exists, caused by too much smoke from cars, factories, and cutting down too many trees. But I'm here to say, it is our responsibility to stop this. Not my job alone, but yours. Not my job alone, but yours and all of us. From children to adults, from one country to another. Because when we don't protect it, we will all suffer the same cause. As Barack Obama once said, we are the first generation to feel the impact of climate change, and we are the last generation that has something to do about it. If your house was on fire, would you wait for someone else to come and put it out? Or you would run for water? Wouldn't you yell for help? Well, our world is on fire, just like that house. And the time to act is now. Let's do simple but meaningful things, and things that make a difference in our environment. Let's plant trees that fight bad air. Let's stop burning rubbish. And let's use bags that can be reused. Let me say this. If we don't stand together and fight climate change, we all fall together. So why don't we do this now to ensure that our environment protects us? Many people are suffering. Let's have that pity on them. Let's unite and fight for those people and for ourselves. Because as once someone said, that climate is global, which means it affects all of us. So if one of us cares and the other doesn't, what is that to us? Let's teach others to care. Let's unite. Let's not blame. Let's build. Let's not waste time in doing things that don't matter. Let's fight for our future. Let's be together in this fight because we all need each other, and we will fight till the end. Everyone, this is our role in our world. This is our world. Let's fight for our world. It's our world, please.
We are going to be going in for the poetry category. We're going to be going in for the poetry category, but before we start, the judges will be given time to deliberate, and then we will come back. This looks like a very heated final, so we want to take our sweet time to deliberate. Thank you very much.
Entitled Dangers of Fossil Fuel. anymore. Of course I was. That source of tour, that love of nature. Your smoke sinks, covering my white glow, slowly suffocates me like a woman in birth pangs. This pain in my bones is real. Those who don't laugh, don't smile, cause it's not funny. My reality is slopping from you. I lose my shape. Though my nature revenge, I don't like it. The floods, the heat, cause it's not funny. My reality is slopping from you. I lose my shape. Though my nature revenge, I don't like it. The floods, the heat. Of course you don't like either. Yes, we don't like it. Stop using fossil fuels. Thank you, everyone.
I'm here to present to you a poem about fossil fuel sonnet. In a blink of an eye, I begin my poem. First, we built towers of smoke and agreed. Then we built an empire of power because it had our shared delight. To fuel our desires, for where was the seed? For where was the seed? Through cold darkened skies, our dreams took flight. In all warm grassy, we launched every need. As flames lit the dawn, blinding and bright, we'll build in progress, too blind to heed. Yet we send whispers of warning, while glaciers wept ice and forests turned bare. Beneath our feet, the Arctic heart began to break. Now we beg my humans to beg. Let the sun heal our scars. And in fire, we beg, let the sky, let the wind carry our sorry hearts to the stars.
Second category, right? Immediately after 20, and then after lunch, all the individual events, storytelling, primary category, and second category, news anchoring, primary category, and second category, and I think that's it. And we'll do it. And then we'll wait for our finals. If that allows, or most likely with our finals, also before for senior category, for our summer, or after our summer. Depending. But for now, thank you very much. Senior category, just go and prepare. For the semi-finals, you will have 4 minutes of speech and 4 minutes to deliver the poem. I repeat, semi-finals, senior category, 4 minutes of speech. For unanimous, that means they won on a 3-0 ballot. In room number 4, we had Portugal versus Peru. The chair was Rain, panelists was Elizabeth and then Trinity. On a unanimous, Team Peru would be advancing to the quarterfinals. In room number 2, Tanzania was in opposition, Mexico was in the opposition, Lomo Vincent was the chair, Regan and Matthias were on the panel. On a unanimous, Tanzania will proceed. In room number 8, we had China versus Croatia. Cicero was the chair in the room. Ainom Bisha and Herbert were on the panel. On a unanimous, Croatia will be proceeding. In room number 5, we had Spain versus Kenya. Melody was the chair in the room. Solomon and Wellborn were on the panel. On a unanimous, Kenya will proceed. In room number 3, we had Nigeria versus Canada. Rona was the chair. Ida and Charity were on the panel. On unanimous, Nigeria will proceed. In room number 6, we had Germany versus Sweden.
Davis was the chair, Kato and Joy were on the panel. On a unanimous, Germany will be proceeding. In room number 7, where we had Ethiopia versus Finland, Henry was the chair, Berak and Jonathan were on the panel. On a unanimous, Ethiopia will be proceeding. And finally, in room number 1, where we had Japan versus Rwanda, Albert was the chair, Rita and Mark were on the panel. On a unanimous decision, Japan will be proceeding. The draws. So in terms of the break policy, if an institution have 3 teams in the out rounds by quarterfinals, 2 teams have to burst themselves in the quarterfinal round, so that we can have only exactly 2 in that regard within the semifinals, provided the other team wins the other round. We shall start with the draws for the junior round. The draw, in room 1 we shall have Superman versus Black Widow. The chair will be Herbert, Mark and Trinity will be on the panel. In room number 2, we shall have Wonder Woman in proposition, Iron Man in the opposition. Joy will be the chair, Solomon and Jonathan will be on the panel. The draw as well has been released to the public site. You could just check or confirm what room you're in. In the quarterfinal round, in room number 4, we shall be having Japan versus Peru. Japan in proposition, Peru in the opposition. The chair in that room is Henry. The panelists are Davis and Ida. In room number 6, we shall have Nigeria versus Tanzania. The chair in the room will be Rita, Arinaitu Regan and Wellborn will be in the panel. In room number 3, we shall have Ethiopia in proposition, Germany in the opposition. The chair in that room will be Rona, Cicero and Vincent will be on the panel. And finally, in room number 5, Croatia will be versing Kenya. The chair will be Vera, the panelists will be Albert and Matthias. The draws as well for that round have been released to the public site. Motion release. So this is an impromptu motion. As of such, you'll have 30 minutes to prepare for your round before the round does start. Also to clarify, if you have your gadgets at this point as a student, hand them over to your patron. Do so now. If you have a gadget as a student, hand it over to your patron now. All of them, juniors and seniors. Let's make it very simple. Can I get Team Wonder Woman, Iron Man, Superman and Black Widow come in front? Just with your notes, your paper and your pen. Secondary track as well. Okay, let's deal with the juniors first. So use the staple with the right hand. When the motion is read, you strictly move to your room and prep the room. In one corner will be opposition, the other corner will be the other team.
No phones. No phones.
Yes, I repeated that over again. There are no phones, no AI, no patrons.
No phones.
Just your notes that you use for research, your paper and your pen.
If you get them, next, you just pull up the next one.
I want to be very clear. We get you, we're disqualifying you. Any motion clarity should be made before you go to the round. So as of such, there will be no internet. The judges have very good timers. They will time you. You don't need your phone to time yourself. Yes, dictionaries are part of research material. You can carry them. The motion is about economic critique. And the motion reads that capitalism is the root of climate change. That capitalism is the root of climate change. That capitalism is the root of climate change. Patrons, don't leave this room until we tell you to leave the room. So prep time is getting done for the junior track at 39. As of such, you can only join those rooms at 39. Is it capitalism or capitalism? Capitalism. is the root of climate change. That's capitalism. Capitalism. Economic critique is the thing. That capitalism is the root to climate change. So please use this door. Please use this door and move to your rooms. That capitalism is the root cause of climate change. Just that room. Where are you going? Hello? Here. Go. Okay, those are done. Secondary section, can you move in front? The team's advancing, please move in front. You want me to call your team names? You don't know whether you broke or not. Japan, Peru, Nigeria, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Germany, Croatia, and Kenya. If you don't want, I can pull up team up. The step is good enough. Some that side, some this side. Drag the motion. Where's Japan? Where's Peru? Nigeria, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Germany, Croatia, Kenya. Great. When I'm done with reading the motion, you can go back to the audience. I hope you have your papers, plus your notes, plus pens. You just use this exit. The motion is about media influence. Media influence. This house regrets the trend in art. This house regrets the trend in art, e.g. films and music. This house regrets the trend in art, e.g. films and music, e.g. films and music, or movies and music. This house regrets the trend in art, e.g. films and music. Are we all there? Yes? That glamorize the consumption of vices, that glamorize, G-L-A M-O-R-I-Z-E, that glamorize the consumption of vices. That glamorize the consumption of vices, e.g. drinking alcohol, consuming drugs, etc. E.g. drinking alcohol, consuming drugs, etc. Make sure you don't have a phone. Let the devil not touch you. E.g. drinking alcohol, consuming drugs, etc. Are we there? Yes. Yes? As a coping mechanism for the Gen Z. As a coping mechanism for the Gen Z. As a coping mechanism. C-O-P-I-N-G. As a coping mechanism for the Gen Z. Generation Z. Gen Z. I repeat the motion one more time. This house regrets the trend in art, e.g. films and music, that glamorize the consumption of vices, e.g. drinking alcohol, consuming drugs, etc. as a coping mechanism for the Gen Z. What's the motion about? Gen Z are the 21st youth. That's the Gen Z. Motion has been released. Event starts at 44. Use this exit. Are you serious? You're asking for the room. Pass here. Hey, here. Yes. Where are you going? Go that side. No, this is the back. Go to your rooms. He has a man there from turning the back of him. Move. Good luck. David, over to you. Dawoodi.
The time I met Adonia was in the bedroom at NBC Mengo 2018, and he beat me, and I've never healed from that particular round. But at least I'm proud and happy that when we met again at university, he was unable to beat me at that particular point. That was sweet revenge. Anyway, thank you very much, Adonia, and at this particular point, we'll be going in for the break announcements for the semi-finals for the senior category. We will start with the break announcements for the poets, and then we'll proceed with that of the public speakers. Immediately that is done, when the debate judges have proceeded to their room, that is the amount of prep time the poets will have. Immediately after that, we'll go in for our semi-finals in that regard. Let me hope that is very, very clear. And between that time and now, you would feel free to either approach myself or approach Alan for feedback if you want to know why you didn't break or improvement. And also, for the semi-finals, we are going to have a panel of 3 judges. We're going to have Alan Miles to Musime, and then we are going to have Naturindo Charity, and then myself, to ensure that whoever is going to make it to the finals deserves to be in the finals. So, let us go. Breaks for poetry. And I'm going to read breaking in a very particular order so that we are able to know our weaknesses and where we can improve. Breaking in 4th position, we have a tie. We have a tie. All of them are, should I say boys or men? They are of the male species with an average of 67. We have 2 boys. All of them are from the same school. Give it up for Ijuka Elijah and Turiasima Ellis from NTARE School. Congratulations. That was a tie, 4th position. They had an average of 67. Breaking in 3rd position with an average of 70. This particular poet has been correcting me on how to pronounce their name. I am really sorry if I mispronounce it again, but just bear with me. Nawasa Rebecca, I'm really sorry if I have mispronounced the name. From Bijera Senior Secondary School, or Bijera Secondary School. Breaking in 2nd position with an average of 74. Give it up for Wesonga Melchizedek from St. Andrews, SS. Breaking past to the semi-finals with an average of 75. The judges liked the rich content within this poem. That is none other than, I'm looking at the person, where are they? I'll read their name and they will show up. Amwesiga Baron from Nganwa High School. Congratulations. That is the break for the poets. The breaks for the public speakers in a very particular order as well. We have in position 6 with an average of 68. Before I talk about the breaks for the public speakers, as you're coming for feedback, please note at the back of your mind, what we were assessing was 1, the ability of the speakers to deliver a speech either at a funeral or celebrating someone. That is number 1. Number 2, their ability to blame the government for the death of their friend, Churchill. And number 3, which was the most important thing, is the dark humor within their speech. Breaking in position 6. Whoever had an average of below 70 didn't put in an aspect of dark humor in their speech, but they had the other two things fulfilled. With an average of 68, position 6, breaking to the semi-finals from Chisubi Mapera SS is none other than Nanyondo Rona. With an average of 69, position 5, breaking to the semi-finals is none other than Atugonza Elizabeth Blessed from Premier SS. Breaking with an average of 74th position is someone breaking with an average of 74th position is none other than Arinda Miriam from Bijera SS. Breaking with an average of 73, third position to the semi-finals is none other than Kabandama Aida from St. Teresa Girls School. We're now up to the top 2. The remaining 5. You are either here or not here. Your journey starts here or it ends here. Position 2 with an average of 75. I think this speech had a lot of dark humor, and we're able to laugh a little bit as the judges give it up. Oh, give it up for Muchurezi Edwin, Ganwa High School. Breaking fast as the topmost speech from the quarterfinals is none other than, there are 2 boys remaining and 2 girls. So let me break your heart in bits. The person breaking is not a boy. So the 2 boys, you are not breaking, if I've not yet mentioned your name. So the 2 girls remaining, one of you is breaking in the semi-finals and the other is not. Breaking to the semi-finals, an average of 76. Give it up for Doris Amoti from Weranganji Girls School, Senior Secondary School. Congratulations on the breaks. Before I hand over to Adonia, and then before we also start our round, allow me to read the task for the poets for the semi-finals, and you should note that the task for the speakers has been given. In the semi-finals round for public speaking, the speakers are supposed to give us a prepared speech of their choice, based on any topic of their choice. For purposes of record, we are going to be testing 1, their ability to carefully craft their speech in a way that 1 is very organized, but secondly, we are going to be testing on their delivery skills, but thirdly, their ability to analyze whatsoever topic they have chosen. That is the task for the public speakers. However, the task for the poets reads, semi-finals, Dealer's monologue. Perform, listen to the words of this task. Perform a dramatic monologue from the perspective of a drug dealer. Perform a dramatic monologue from the perspective of a drug dealer. Explore their guilt, justification, or detachment. I sell dreams, but they dissolve by dawn. That is a statement that needs to be included. Please pay attention. That is a statement that needs to be included within your speech. It doesn't matter whether you begin with it, you end with it, or use it in the middle, as long as that word, I sell dreams, but they dissolve by dawn. That is the task for the poets. And the order of speech for the poets is going to be, in first, we're going to have Ijuka Elijah deliver the poem, then Ellis, then Rebecca, then Wensonga, and then Baron. That is the order of delivery. Thank you very much. Over to you, my senior, Adonia. They will be using 4 minutes of speech. We're giving you time. You have 4 minutes to interest us for
Dealer's monologue. I sell dreams, but they dissolve by dawn. Dreams that dissolve like toast, like salt, but leave a clue like taste. A clue not to fade. A clue of wreckage. A clue to stress the journey of suffering and shorten the journey of life. All wreckage, I take cost. They say I'm a monster, feeding on their pains, filling holes that the world left again and again. I just offer what they desperately need, an escape from life's cruel bittersweet. When I sell the pills or powder, tangible but dreams, they buy for temporary hope and deathly calm. One more day, they say, but yet they crawlingly come another, and choicelessly I give. And when I think the evils of my deals, to console I say, I just supply. To deter I would, but the thrill of money and desperate bodies as a cobweb traps me as dawn approaches. I'm just a layman at supply, not an influencer in doctrine. I sell in advance, but I spare the buyer's choice. I sell dreams very delicate and they dissolve and leave empty optimism and desperate needs, dreams of escape, relaxation, and pleasure. Thank you.
I sell dreams, but they dissolve by dawn. I am overwhelmed by my guilt because of all the chances of people I've thrown away. It hurts much worse than listening to a sad song because I can see their life go to waste. It burns me because I'm the reason their success can't stay. The more money I made, the more my heart sank in the floods of guilt. I tried to sail through this sorrow in me. It gets stronger when more money flows to my bank account. I ask myself sometimes, why though? To throw away your life for such an expensive amount. I am not to be blamed, for I do not make their decision. But whatever they claim, they knew the consequence with precision. Coming for the drugs, yet the youth had distinctions. I just did what I had to do to survive this cruel world. To simplify things for me, I lock my emotions in a cage to say the word so that they don't say a word. Because they only try to make things hard for me. Mom keeps calling and telling me to stop. I always tell her just a few more shots, but I always sell more because I remember the days we had no food. The people we tried to ask for help were just rude, and so I do this to make sure that I don't ask again. They don't understand the pain. We had no clothes on our backs, but the government's hope was in vain. If only they knew what I had to go through was intense. To me, stopping to sell the drugs now wouldn't make sense. So I try to get past the guilt because it's a lot of stress. But no matter what happens, for my own good, I must sell with no second guess. The downfall of some of my friends, the price to pay for a warm meal. But once they pass on, their ghosts haunt me like they're almost real. Thank you.
From BJRA Secondary School. I first shout out to TD and community for organizing this, all things that are taking place since we came. Thank you very much because you have given opportunity to many students to expose their capabilities. I say thank you. And now here goes my monologue entitled Dreams for Sale Done in Ruins. You know what? I sell dreams. Yes, you heard me right. I sell dreams. Little packets of euphoria wrapped in shiny foil, each one a promise from escape from each daring existence. But let me tell you something. Those dreams, they come at a cost. Everything I had, every time I hand over that little baggie, I feel a piece of my soul slips away with it. But then I see the hope in their eyes. They think they are buying freedom. But all they are really doing is actually chaining themselves to another cycle of despair. And I'm the one who hands them the shackles. Justification? Sure. I've got them in plenty. I'm just providing service. People want it. I'm just meeting demand. But deep down, there is this gnawing gift that eats at me like a hungry wolf. You see, every transaction is like my tiny death. A little piece of someone's stone dissolving into darkness because of my actions. They come to me with dreams of happiness and escape from pain. But what do they live with? A temporary high that fades faster than morning mist under the sun. Sometimes I wonder, I'm helping them. Am I helping them? Or am I just another predator lurking in the shadows? It's easy to detach when you are numb, when you convince yourself that it's not your problem once they walk away, but then you hear the stories, the overdoses, the broken families, and suddenly those dreams turn into nightmares. There are nights when I can't sleep because their faces haunt me. Those lost souls who thought they could fly but ended up crashing hard. And here I am, still selling dreams, while knowing full well that each cell put another life ruined.
do I stop and face my own demons, or do I keep pushing these dreams onto others while my own dawn continues to dissolve into darkness? In this game we play, this dance between light and shadow, I've become dealer and thief, stealing hope from others while burying my own beneath layers of smoke and mirrors. I sell dreams, but they dissolve.
I'm Moisonga Maltizedek from St. Andrew's Seed, Mukono. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank the TTN organization for organizing such a tournament that has brought many children all over the world, all over the country, to come and learn from each other. And I'm here to deliver a poem titled Powdered Promises. I saw dreams by the dissolve by dawn. Not the kind of dreams you dream at night, no. These dreams, you sniff them, you swallow them, you smoke them, then boom, you're flying away from your pain. Nigga, people call me names, criminal, poisoner, thief of futures, but me, I'm just a provider. A shortcut provider, a man with answers in small packet of bags. My mama thinks I sell second-hand clothes in town. Every Sunday she prays, God, bless my hard-working son. She doesn't know I'm the reason why boys sleep on trenches and the reason why girls forget where they live. Sometimes, yeah, I feel bad. Like when I see them traveling in corners or borrowing money they will never even return. But then I say, they come to me. I don't force anyone. At least I give them the clean stuff. Not like the doctors who mixed chemicals and killed the breed last week. Let's be honest. This world is full of lies. Politicians lie. Preachers lie. Even young lies. Me? I said exactly what I promised. I feel I was a bit scared. And I have never pretended it last. Some even say thank you. They laugh, they forget, they float. But when dawn comes, and I see them, face down, empty eyes, their dreams all gone, just broken bodies in lost souls. Then that's when I whisper to myself, I saw dreams.
My name is Amweziga Barod. My school is Ganwa High School. In account of 3, 2, 1, I begin my speech. I sell dreams, but they dissolve as I go on. I see desperation in their eyes, the hunger of escape, the willingness to comprise. I am feeding on their weakness. I am feeding on their unknowingness with a calculative mind, and I smile, fueling their addiction while the concise goes mine. I'm just in my actions with a twisted mind. I'm just a businessman. I tell myself, I'm fine. But the guilty creeps in like the thief at night, stealing my sleep and filtering my light. I'm trapped in this game with no way out. In the pound of the system that slowly won me down. I'm just a supplier, a facilitator. I deal with drugs. but the weight of their struggles, it weights me and it reveals me. I sell dreams, but they are just an illusion, a temporary fix for a deeper confusion. And when the down breaks and the high wears off, I felt like the wreckages of the lives I have lost and I loved. Maybe I'm not the monster that I seem. Maybe I am the product of this world that is of the darkest part. But the faces of their lost and the ones that still haunt me, and a reminder of the dreams that I still have, but now I sold and killed. Thank you.
This is going to be the order. We're going to have 9-year-old Rona, we will have a composer Elizabeth, we will have a reader Miriam, we will have Ida, Edwin, and Rona from Supercell. The same order is tell us your name, the school, and anything you want to tell us. Probably this is your last round, you don't have much of anything in the mind, and even if you do, you want to shout, make some shout out. Probably your petrol, your HM, your mom, you want to this guy. In like 10 seconds before you can start your speech. Ensure that you are as comfortable as possible. Let us have the first public speaker prepare the speech. 4 minutes. Give us the reason as to why you should be in this year's finals. Thank you very much. And because the audience, there are people in the audience that are making noise for me. Please, and please, if you want to speak, shout, interact with other people, please move up. It's as simple as that. You can't disorganize it. Thank you very much.
Start with a speech or my name is Nanyondorena from MBARARA Senior Secondary School in Tebe. Never let a little dispute injure a great friendship. The power of friendship. A friend is a person who sees your first tear, catches the second, stops the third, and turns the fourth into a smile. Friends are like traffic lights. They don't shorten your path, but they lighten up your way through. I had a friend, Edith. Edith was with me through thick and thin, at the time that I was addicted to cocaine. Edith showed me love. Edith was with me through all the counseling sessions I went through. She showed me that a friend is not that person who would run away from me in cases of trouble, but that one person who would instead get closer to you when you are a person seen as a wrong person. That one friend was there for me when the whole community was running away from me. She showed me love, she showed me affection, and she showed me that I was not alone. It showed me that friends are our second family. She was like family to me. At the time when my dad was very angry at me and very embarrassed about what I was doing. She helped me go through all my counseling sessions, all the therapies I went through, and she was with me through all my prayers. She prayed with me at all moments. Friends are like earthly angels. Friends are always there to embrace and always there to make us feel present. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a friend, treasure your friend, affection, and make sure that you are never far away from your friend. Thank you.
My name is Atugonza Elizabeth Blessed from Premier Secondary School. The topic I'm going to address today is treatment and recovery from drug addiction. Well, here we are all gathered to discuss a critical issue that is affecting individuals and families across the world. Drug abuse is an issue, and actually a far-reaching issue that has aroused consequences among individuals. Addiction is a critical condition that requires comprehensive approach to treatment. It's not just a moral character, but it's not just about a moral character, but it's about addressing a physical, emotional, and psychological aspect of addiction. For today, I want to talk about treatment. I realize that treatment is the best way we can put drug abuse to an end. How? We have medical assisted treatment. We also have cognitive behavior therapies and support groups. When we look at the support groups, these support groups are comprehensive. With them, we have people that recovered from addiction. We have peer educators, and whereby we look at these support groups coming out and help these addicts, because we have living testimonies in these support groups, people that recovered from drug addiction, and whereby these people will serve as a living testimony and actually testify to those that are struggling with addiction. How? And actually, because these are evidence-based approaches. How? You can try it out at the Africa Retreat Center in Kampala, actually in Naguru, Kampala, whereby if you visit this place, you will find people who are going to testify on how they overcome addiction. You can also visit the Hope and Beyond Center. It's in Wakaliga, Kampala. It's also a rehabilitation center. There are people that will testify on how they overcome addiction. We look at this being the best approaches and how people can get rid of addiction. We also look at the recovery part. How can someone recover from addiction? How can someone get rid of drug abuse? Here we have detoxification, we have aftercare planning, and counseling. We look at counseling addressing underlying issues that cause addiction to drugs, which underlying issues like poverty, curiosity, because we see some people use drugs due to them being curious. We look at some people taking drugs maybe because they want to get that maybe potential energy and work out all day and maybe attain some money. So we look at counseling actually addressing all those issues. So I believe these are most of the best approaches to handle and actually deal with drug abuse, and we find them being so effective in putting drug abuse to an end. And we also look at the detoxification, helping in the safely navigation of discomfort, reducing discomfort, risks like maybe health risks, and social issues and economic burdens. We also look at withdrawal, whereby those addicts, detoxification helps them withdraw from this substance that has been maybe gotten used to their body. So I prefer detoxification for the addicts. And we look at aftercare, providing support, guidance, and accountability. So together, let's work together and support these treatment initiatives so as to create and promote public health.
Hello everyone, my name is Arinda Miriam from MBARARA Secondary School. Today I want to talk about something that affects each and every one of us here, our health. We all know that health is wealth, but how often do we pause to reflect the true value of this wisdom? Good health is the foundation where everything in life is built. No matter how successful, wealthy, or accomplished we are, we cannot appreciate life's blessing. The first step towards good health is understanding its importance. Mental health, physical health, and emotional well-being are interconnected. When one aspect is neglected, it affects the other. For instance, poor feeding and lack of enough exercises lead to physical ailments like obesity, heart diseases, and these conditions affect your mental health, resulting into depression, stress, and pressure. Then you may ask yourself, what is the best way to improve our health standards? The best way to improve our healthy standards is to focus on health-building practices. 1. Shy away from drug abuse. Drug abuse is the critical issue that has attracted the attention of many people, that has led to the life of misery among people. Shying away and saying no to drug abuse is one of the major ways to live healthier. 2. Feeding on balanced diet. When I talk of balanced diet, I remember my friend Bogus Frankshaft. I don't know whether she was Bogus as his name. He was feeding on greens daily. To some extent, she found himself having green bread. Can you imagine someone having green bread? Do you want to be one of the victims of having green bread? Do you? Exercising regularly, whether a brisk walk, bike ride, or a workout at gym. Incorporating these exercises can make your body stronger and healthier. Will you always deny for aerobics? Will you always deny for aerobics? Make your body stronger. Am I changing your life? Am I changing your diet? First, make a healthier you. And remember, small change accounts.
My name is Aida Kabundama from St. Teresa Girls SS. The title of my speech is The War Within, Breaking the Chains of Drug Abuse. My fellow youth, I stand before you not as a speaker, but as a voice, and a voice for the lost, the silenced, the broken souls swallowed by the shadows of drug abuse. We often imagine wars with guns, tanks, and bloodshed, but there is a war raging silently in our homes, schools, and streets. A war within the minds of our parents, our friends, our brothers, our sisters, our teachers, and everyone at the streets. And this war is called addiction. Drug abuse is not just a choice, but it's a trap. It starts with curiosity, becomes a habit, and ends in chains. Oh, Ida, it really disturbs me a lot, and it's not really worth believing when I think of Justin Bieber's talent, which is being buried in the chains of drug abuse. Did you know drug addicts today first experimented with drugs in their teens? Why? Peer pressure, boredom, escapism. But drugs don't erase pain. They pause it. It only returns with double the destruction. Let us not be fooled. The cool kid within a joint isn't cool. He's crying for help. The party life with pills isn't fun. It's a fast track to the grave. But I do not stand here just to condemn. I stand to call for action. Parents, listen without judging. Teachers, guide with patience. Friends, speak up, don't cover up. And we the youth must rise as defenders of our future, not victims of our choices. Say no to drugs, not just once but every time. Say yes to life, to purpose, to dreams unshaken. Let us be the generation that does not run from pain but heals. That does not escape through chemicals but conquers with courage. Because the greatest night is not from drugs. It's from a living life with meaning. Thank you.
My name is Nicholas Edwin from Ngano High School. I start my speech in 3, 2, 1.
Today, I have a fact to which I want to draw attention, and my concern is hearing. Listeners, I'm grateful to meet you again. Can you please listen? Can you please listen? My today's topic is the purpose of a role model in fighting against mental health challenges. I repeat. My topic is the purpose of a role model in fighting against mental health challenges. 2 years back, I was an alcoholic. Out of fun, regret, I became an addict. My mental health was in ruins. I had no stable state of mind. Recovery was impossible because a wise man said, when you can't stop, you don't want to stop. And when you don't want to stop, you cannot stop. That is addiction. Meeting David was my inspiration. He narrated me his story on how he got recovered from the scars of cocaine addiction. His major reason was embedded in the fact that recovery starts with personal decision making, followed by support from experienced individuals. I felt motivated when I discovered that I was denying myself a chance of recovery by fixing my mindset that it was impossible. I decided to break out of the habit from struggle and support. It was possible, and I became free. Comrades, did you know of this secret? You are already destined to become the person you have decided to be. Decide today. Let's decide today and reform our mental health. From my role models, what I recommend: decision making, support, understanding, empathy, in order to combat all the mental health problems. In conclusion, listeners, my dear listeners, let's adhere to this paramount information in any way. Do you find it paramount? If yes, you may clap your hands. Oh, thank you. I wish I could give you more. Therefore, let's not stop on clapping our hands. Let's go to our societies, motivate our friends, motivate our societies in order to save our country. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My name is Nshemelira Doris Amoti, and my topic is how do you leave these TDN competitions? The host school, NTARE School, led by Mr. Moshe Benerick, our judges, patrons, students, and all the other participants, good afternoon to you all. My name is Ishamelira Amoti, and I'm also a participant here as a public speaker. I'm very passionate about speaking, and I love to speak, but most especially, I love to smile, always smile. It has now been day 4, day 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and I would like to congratulate you. I mean, it has not been easy. Personally, it has not. I mean, you being here and yet all the others are out there for their holidays, enjoying and all that, but you deciding to stay here just because you want to prove yourself as a public speaker, as a debater, as a poet, as a news anchor, as a storyteller and all that is something that is not easy. Please clap for yourself. We all came here with one goal, to win, right? You want to win, I want to win, they want to win, we all want to win, but the fact still stands, it is impossible. In a competition, we always have a winner and a loser, but all that does not matter. What matters is how do you leave this place? Are you going back the way you came in? The way you entered these gates? No, you must not go back the way you came in. Definitely, Mr. David will tell you, you're too stiff, but at the end of the competition, he'll be like, well done. Whether you lost it or not, whether you win or not, whether you're a judge or not, whether you're a student, patron and all that, it doesn't matter. It is meaningless. What matters is how do you leave this place after this competition? Let me share with you a personal story. When I came here on Saturday, I came here as maybe part of the best public speakers at home, at school. I thought I knew something, but I found out that I knew nothing at all. And I can assure you that I have learned something in these 4 days. Where are the new curriculum students? We know that mental health and drug abuse is examined in our papers like biology. And the theme of this competition has been all about mental health and drug abuse, right? Yesterday I told myself that I am not going to fail any question concerning mental health and drug abuse because of what I have learned here. I have learned a lot about public speaking, about poetry, news anchoring, storytelling, and all that. Borrow a leaf, borrow a branch if you want, borrow the whole tree, do the same, learn something. Doesn't matter whether you've failed or not. What matters is how do you leave this place. We still have a day or two to go. Learn something. And when you learn, speak out. Let me give you a few tips on how to do this. Watch other people do what you have been doing. Get connections with people who are better than you. In conclusion, do not let your time here and your money here go to waste. Thank you very much. I remain very
Our semi-finals come to an end, and in the afternoon we will go for individual speech debates, that is storytelling and news anchoring. And then we'll have our final in the day.
Thank you very much. This will be the final round today. The results will be announced tomorrow as well. Also, those who are not debating, I actively encourage you to step into any of these rooms. I think there could be a couple of things you could learn from other speakers as well. Room 4. Japan was proposing, Peru in opposition. On a unanimous decision, so the chair in the room was Chawalianga Henry. The panelists were Davis and Ida. On 3-0 ballot, Peru will be proceeding. It's also the club. In room number 6, we had Nigeria in the proposition, Tanzania in the opposition. The chair was Rita, Regan and Wellborn on the panel on a unanimous decision, on a 2-1 split decision. Nigeria will be proceeding. In room number 3, we had Ethiopia in the proposition, Germany in the opposition. On a 3-0 ballot, the team proceeding is Team Ethiopia. In group number 5, chair was Vera, panelists were Albert and Matthias. On a unanimous decision, so Croatia was in proposition, Kenya was in the opposition. Team Croatia will be proceeding. The draws for the semi-finals read as such. In group number 4, so let's have Croatia, Ethiopia, Peru, and Nigeria come in front. You come with your notes, your pen, and your paper. Leave your gadgets behind. Semi-final results from the primary track will also be announced tomorrow. So in the primary section, you can go and refresh and play some games. We will meet tomorrow. Or you can go and see any of the games in the semi-finals. In room number 4, Croatia will be in the proposition and Ethiopia will be in the opposition. The chair in the room will be Rona. On the panel we shall have Vera, Davis, Henry, and Vincent. In room number 6, we shall have Peru in the proposition and Nigeria in the opposition. The chair in that room is Regan. The panel will have Rita, Ida, Joy, and Elizabeth. The theme for this round is harm reduction. Harm reduction. Harm, H-A-R-A-M, harm reduction. Harm reduction, to reduce. This round has an info slide. Drug tolerance zones. Drug tolerance zones. Drug tolerance zones are designated areas. Whereby selling and using drugs is legally permitted. Drug tolerance zones are designated areas whereby selling and using drugs is legally permitted. All drug-related activities outside those zones remain illegal. All drug-related activities outside these zones remain illegal. Examples include supervised consumption sites like Vancouver's site. All drug-related activities outside these dorm zones remain illegal. Examples include supervised consumption sites like Vancouver's Inside. Examples include supervised consumption sites like Vancouver's Inside, INSITE. Are we there? Yes? Examples include supervised consumption sites like Vancouver's a place. Vancouver's Inside. Vancouver's Inside. You have a minute to read the motion. So the last time for the info slide, drug tolerance zones are designated areas where buying, selling, and using drugs is legally permitted. All drug-related activities outside these zones remain illegal. Examples include supervised consumption sites like Vancouver's Inside. Vancouver. Now get it. Oh, you want the spelling of Vancouver? It's just a place. Anyone has clarity on the info slide? Everything is clear, right? Just supervised inside. That's up to you to debate. You can even remove the word Vancouver and put Kampala's inside. Anything. It's just a place. No. Just a place. Just interrogate what a supervised site looks like. What I don't know. Okay. Prep is going to be done in the rooms. One to be one of the corners and other corners. Don't forget to use your phone. I will disqualify you for the hand. So, no phones, just you and your head. The motion for this round is this house would create drug tolerance zones in cities with a high level of drug use. This house will create drug tolerance zones in cities with a high level of drug use. This house will create drug tolerance zones in cities with a high level of drug use. It is 2:57. The date will start at roughly 3:27. You pass it like this through this door. David, are you done with this room? Huh? Oh. I was asking whether it's going to be idle.
No, not really. Thank you very much, really, Josh Mabonga. At this particular point, we are going for the finals of our individual events. We are going to start with storytelling, and then we'll go to news anchoring. Storytelling will start with the senior category, and we'll proceed to the junior category. The task that we are using is the finals task. The finals task for all the categories. What does that mean? We are going to start the round at exactly 10 minutes past 3. That simply means you have around 12 minutes from now to prepare the finals task for each category. Again, will be a panel of 3 judges that will be in this particular round. So ensure that you give us your very best, because it is the final round, and it is from this round that we will determine the winners, first runners-up, and the second runners-up. In a very particular order, we are going to start with Murunji Adolf Ahomuza from NTARE School, storytelling category, and then we'll have Chisembo from St. Andrew's Seed going in second position, and then in third we will have Muhereza Arnold from Vijera SS will go that. After that, we'll have the primary category. We will start with Monique from MBARARA Municipal, then Daniela from MBARARA Municipal, and then Anna Abella from Koloma Primary School. Each, pardon? Anna Abella. Daniela, which school are you from? Atwongirwe. Daniela. Which school? Koloma. Oh, sorry. I'm going to change that. I'm going to rectify that. And then we'll go to the news anchoring. Each of you has 3 minutes to give us your stories. We'll start with the senior category and then the junior category. You have 10 minutes from now to prepare. Thank you very much. But guys, even me the first time I was put on TV and I had cameras on, I was shy. But try as much as possible to be confident, okay? If you are feeling shy, you are not feeling confident, imagine everyone is your friend, that best friend of yours. So instead of looking at the audience, you are looking at your best friend, okay? And always focus on what you are supposed to do. That will help you a lot. So at exactly 10, as I give Adonia a chance to enjoy and, talk to the people, we'll be starting. This person that you want to have, the time they match out, and let these young people showcase for us their talent through storytelling and news anchoring. Alright, as we head to our final storytelling, the duties for our finalists: 1, storytelling is unique because, number 1, it needs to have a place setting. Where does the story take place? Number 2, it is unique because it has characters that you need to elaborate more on. Why? What is their role within the place they are situated. And that's the purpose. A good story has a storyline. Okay? That storyline should be in position to connect the characters that we have. Who is the villain and who is the hero? What lessons do we learn from the hero and what lessons should we avoid from the villain? That is how a story looks like. At this particular point, I will invite Ahomuza Adolf Urunji from NTARE School to give us his story. 3 minutes.
Wonderful day. It being my first engagement and making it to the finals, it's not an easy thing. Allow me to send a shout out to NTARE team. The who have been training me and my parents outside watching. I start my speech in TBN. I felt it when I placed my hand in the pocket. No sooner had I placed my hand in the pocket than I felt a necklace and a watch. I'm trying to look at them. I remember that it was something from my grandmother. At the back of my mind, I recall that my grandmother was like, my son, I'm going somewhere. But whenever you get me something, always look at these things because you will get your source of wisdom. This is your source of courage. Oh my God, I call necklace and his watch made me lower my self-esteem. The extent that I knew that it's in every time. I don't understand that. I became addicted. I became lazy. I started looking at each and every time. This watch and this necklace will never be there for me. Time and time again, a person who was once a studying said, I became a nonsense because I didn't use my powers. Not until one day I shared a story with one of my friends with whom I used to start with the church. Then he told me about the goodness of God. Then he told me that you cannot trust the world and make it. You cannot trust the world and take to other people become successful. Then I had a turning point in my life and told God, God, I know you do exist. Hello. I told God, have mercy upon me. My friend advised me, always trust in the Lord. To get rid of the past, get rid of the necklace and the watch, because that would ruin my reputation inside, because I was once a very powerful person inside, a person who is trusting God, but because of the necklace and the watch, I lost value in society. My friend encouraged me to go for counseling sessions to different counselors, and when I visited the counselors, they told me, you can still make it. They gave me an option in life. They were like, you know your past does not determine your future. They told me, do not relax. Stand up and get rid of those, pray to God and make it. And that's how I broke the cycle. Thank you very much.
Semboga Udesha from St. Andrews. Semboga Udesha from St. Andrews said,
How many minutes? 3 minutes.
the family heirloom. I felt it the moment I saw how my dad treasured the magical, they said they treasured it as a baby. I felt it the moment my dad smoked his pipe as he narrated stories about it. I felt it the moment my grandmother chewed tobacco and spit it in my mouth to chew a cough. I felt it from the moment that I saw the family necklace that had passed through generations. The generations from the great-great-grandmother now to me. The unsettling energy emanating from the watch and the necklace, the engraved messages on them. Don't let it take you. I sense a feeling that there must be something wrong. Yes, indeed there was something wrong. I looked. I was wondering in my bedroom, thinking, but the moment I touched the necklace, a vision from my great-great-grandmother who suffered opium addiction appeared. I was like, no, it's not the truth. I felt his pain. I felt his suffering. And I knew this was not my will. I sat in sorrow. I said, this is not who they meant to be. The strange messages from the family heirloom. I realized they were not just family heirloom. They were not just mere objects, but they had something in them, like a gas. And a cycle to break. I realized that if I don't
addiction. If I don't stick on them, I will be taken. Because that's when I remembered the engraving on the hair necklace saying, "Don't let him take you." I stood, a thought, engraved another charm on the necklace saying, "Freedom," and a word on the watch saying, "Power and resilience." I made my story. I began another path from there. I respected him and made my own way. That's how I escaped and broke the cycle.
Good afternoon, members in the house. Good afternoon, members in the house. My name is Muhirs Arnold. My school is MBARARA Secondary School. I'm starting my story in the count of 3, 2, 1. I felt it. The weight of the necklace resting on my chest. It's a cool metal, a stark contrast to the warmth of my skin. It was a heirloom passed down through generations. Alongside it lays a pocket watch. When I tried to trace the origin of the necklace, I found out that my great-grandmother had worn it on her wedding day as a symbol of love and hope. That day marked the beginning of the love of my great-grandmother. I traced the contours of the necklace, and I found out that it had to impact my great-grandmother. My grandfather's struggles consumed him, leading him to ultimately untimely death. And I found out that the pocket watch belonged to my grandfather, who inherited it from his father after he died. He fell a victim to addiction. Many people kept saying, "Don't fall a victim." That's how I survived and broke this cycle.
My name is Nick. My name is Nyakana Monique from Bara Municipal School. I begin my story at 3, 2, 1. The last letter from the future. On 10 April 2154. I pen this letter with a heavy heart as the last flickers of hope fade in unforgiving reality. I write this letter not just to condemn you, but to warn you. You have the powers to change your future. Gone are the days when the lush forest stretched as far as my eyes could see. Oceans steamed with life, and the air was crisp and clean. But now, in my world, forests lie in ashes, raged and fueled by unchanged climate. Entire ecosystems have crumbled, leaving behind the past earth. The air choked with smoke and shot is a stark reminder of the industries and infrastructure you built. I stood on a barren rooftop, gazing out a desolate landscape. Climate change had destroyed our world, melting polar ice caps, flooding cities, displacing millions and millions of people. As a climate change activist, I had fought for change, but it was too late. The damage was already too far. Climate change refugees swarmed habitable areas, seeking shelter and sustenance. Governments struggled to cope, prioritizing the few privileged. I knew I had to write this letter, but amidst the harrowing landscape, it was not just nature alone that bears the guilt. It was you, those who prioritize convenience over conservation, those who prioritize profits over the planet, those who prioritize silence over action. But you must awaken now. Stand up against the industries and practices that harm our planet. Advocate for local ecosystems. Restore what has been destroyed. For example, you cut one tree, make sure you plant 10. With deepest sorrow and abiding hope, Monique. A voice from the end and a whisper to the beginning. Thank you.
My name is Atonjere Asha Daniel, and I am from Koloma Primary School. I am a climate activist, and I am sad to say that our planet is in big trouble. Climate change has hurt the earth so much that it is hard for us to fix. The air is thick with pollution, and the oceans are filled with trash. The ice at the North and South Pole is melting, causing the sea levels to rise. Many islands and coastal cities are now under the water. And what can we do? Nothing. The weather is crazy. There are super strong storms. There are really hot summers, and there are longer droughts than before. Can you imagine that the humans have been hurting the earth for so long, and what is happening now? There is only drought. You have been cutting down trees, you have polluted the air and water, and you have used too much energy. If people of the past learn from our mistakes, they can avoid these problems by using less energy, planting trees, reducing, reusing, and recycling. You young children, you are not too young to make a difference. Tell your parents to reduce their waste, plant a garden, and learn more from the local groups that work on environmental issues. We can still make a difference if we join hands, work together, and save our planet. Let's take care of our earth so that it is healthy and happy for the generations to come. We can make good choices. It's not too late. Let's make good choices to make the earth thrive. I know we can all do it with might.
My name is Ahabwe Anna Abela from Koloma Primary School. The last letter from the future. I'm writing to you from the future that's both heartbreaking and hopeful. Climate change has destroyed our world, and we are seeing the negative consequences of human actions. Imagine the air is thick of pollution. The oceans are overflowing with plastics. Imagine the weather is more extreme than ever. Rising temperatures have melted polar ice caps, causing sea levels to rise and flooding across all cities. Drought has once turned lush lands into deserts, and forests are burning at an alarming rate. You humans contributed to this disaster by ignoring warnings, prioritizing short-term gains, and neglecting the planet's well-being. We used fossil fuels without a control, cut down trees without even replanting one tree. You wasted resources without a thought. But it's not too late for you. You can learn from our mistakes and change course, because also us, we know that we had mistakes. Here are the lessons we wish we had noticed. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Minimize waste and use reusable products. Protect nature. Preserve forests, oceans, and wildlife habitats. Use renewable energy. Switch to solar, wind, and other clean energy sources. Conserve water. Use water wisely and protect its precious resource. We are not just fighting for your future, but we are fighting for yours. Take action now, and you can avoid the tragic end we are facing. Believe in the power of collective action and to
NTARE school, senior 6, I will be doing news anchoring for the senior category. Can start? From boardrooms to boardrooms, former kingpins face their first ever charges in the cocaine epidemic. Yes, former bosses are in cuffs. Historic indictments say that historic indictments say that execs are linked to the cocaine crisis. In this, on your National Justice Watch, your very own Emmanuel Jordan from LBC, the Lions Broadcasting Corporation. Tonight, we will be starting with a seismic development on the cocaine crisis. in the nation. Unprecedented criminal charges. For the first time in U.S. history, the federal prosecutors have charged pharmaceutical executives of being in connection with the cocaine crisis. This has sent a shockwave throughout the entire federal and medical legal entities alike. Unprecedented criminal charges. In a sweeping federal indictment until this morning, the Justice Department named 3 top executives: Chemazone Therapeutics, a distribution firm, and Nova Pharma, accusing them of knowingly fueling the illicit cocaine trade through fraudulent labeling, illegal diversion of precursor chemicals, and obstruction of federal oversight. U.S. Attorney Elena Carrillo said in a press briefing that this is not a case of negligence. This is a case of corporate greed, of addiction, whereby executives with suits are enabling street-level destruction. The charges include conspiracy to traffic controlled substances, mail and wire fraud, violations of Controlled Substances Act. If convicted, the defendants will spend several years, up to decades, in federal prison. A hidden pipeline to the streets. At the center of the investigation is a compound called pseudo-methyl-digoxin, a compound, a chemical, used in legitimate medical research, but also a known precursor in the synthesis of refined cocaine. According to prosecutors, internal documents show that the executives knew that this chemical was being siphoned off to black market manufacturers from South and all over Central America. Emails and memos presented in court detail how company leaders ignored internal compliance warnings and falsified export documentation to avoid DEA scrutiny. Investigators say the actions directly contributed to a surge in chemically modified cocaine variants, now ravaging urban and rural communities alike. A public demand for accountability. Families affected by the cocaine crisis said that this has been a long overdue reckoning. Angela Boyd, whose son died after using a cocaine analog traced back to US origin, Rivasa said, these aren't just drug dealers in alleyways. They wear ties, sit on bundles, and hide behind their lamps. It's time the justice system caught up to them. So what comes next? The indicted executives are expected to appear in court for arraignment next week. Meanwhile, lawmakers are already drafting new legislation aimed at tightening controls on chemical exports, and imposing stiffer penalties on corporate actors in drug supply chain. The question now is this case? The question now is whether this case will open the floodgates of prosecution, or whether it should be remembered as a one-time anomaly. This landmark indictment sends a clear message that in the America's epidemic cocaine war, no one is above the law, not even the farmer elite. That was the National Justice Watch. Stay informed. Justice is on the move. I remain Emmanuel Jordan of the LBC, the Lions Broadcasting Corporation. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone. My name is Roman Ika from Bijela Secondary School. I'm the news anchor of today's session.
From our
rules, court rules. Farm activities face the first ever criminal charges in the cocaine epidemic. Today is Tuesday, 6 May 2025. Good evening and welcome to our special break. Today we are reporting on the landmark development in the fight against the cocaine epidemic of pharmaceutical executives facing criminal charges for their alleged loss in fueling the crisis. This bulletin is brought to you by Mr. Muhammad Ibrahim on a 2 Crazy Express FM for the Lord's unit in MBARARA City High Street. Let's dive into the details. In a groundbreaking move, the pharmaceutical executives have been located on charges related to their involvement in the cocaine epidemic. This marks a significant shift in the body corporate leaders are accountable for their actions. Most solemn documents arrange that their executives knowingly contributed to the crisis through their company's actions, including aggressive marketing and distribution and selling. The cocaine epidemic has had a devastating impact on communities, leading to increased addiction, rates of overdoses, social and economic disruption. Most of the cocaine epidemic reflect a growing demand for accountability from pharmaceutical companies and their leaders, who are seen as having a significant role in the crisis. The implications of the cocaine epidemic could have far-reaching implications for the pharmaceutical industry, potentially increased scrutiny and regulation. Most of the cocaine epidemic send a strong message to pharmaceutical executives that they will be held accountable for their actions and the impact of their company's products. The case will now proceed through the court system with the executives facing trial for the negligence brought against them. The industry response of the cocaine epidemic is likely to respond to those potential changes in practices and policies. As this historic case unfolds, it will be closely watched by most of the pharmaceutical industry, and those affected by the cocaine outcome will have significant implications for how companies operate and are held accountable in the future. That's all about today's bulletin. Stay tuned and our more bulletin are coming at 5 p.m. Don't touch on your time. My name is
It's a pleasure to be with you today. Good day, listeners. Bear in the room that Akani Daverana is my name. Today's top story revolves around the vote green lights and masked fossil fuels in our countries. In an era where climate change is at the forefront of global discussions, a troubling trend has emerged. Some of the world's largest fossil fuel companies are being exposed for making false net zero emissions. Recent analysis has linked that numerous fossil fuel giants have been misleading the public regarding their sustainability efforts, and the reports show that these corporations usually promote ambitious net zero targets which are not later meaningful to this public. In a comprehensive study conducted by Watchdogs, it has been studied that numerous sustainable reports from the top 20 fossil fuel companies bring a green picture because of their false information about these net zero emissions. Over 75% of the stated net zero targets lack comprehensive plans for the real emissions reduction. In summary, the world is too loud, the signs are loud. Please, we should stand and unbound against climate change. Thank you for tuning on Vero TV, this has been your climate update. Please stay informed as you continue to follow this important story. Thank you.
Greenwashed schemes now hit the floor. Fossil giants can't fake it anymore. Good afternoon, I am Noe Hannah, and this is Wonder TV, your window into the world's unfolding exposure. Let's dive into the headlines that matter most. Unmasking the giants who thought were green, their net zero myths explode. Tonight, we are looking at the claims made by some of the world's biggest oil and gas companies. For years, they've said they are working toward net zero, a goal to stop carbon polluting to the air by 2050. They've been burying the truth beneath layers of glossy campaigns and promises. But new reports say those promises don't match what's happening. Major fossil fuel companies have been promoting green initiatives while continuing to invest in oil and gas, with many of their so-called net zero plans criticized as vague or ineffective. In some internal mails, company leaders admit they are not doing as much as they claim. One message even said, "We can't afford to be honest about how little we are doing." That raises serious questions. Scientists say we need strong, honest action to slow climate change. When companies make big promises but don't follow through, it delays progress, which we urgently need. The good news is, people are paying attention. Governments, courts, and communities are starting to demand real action, not just words, and that pressure is starting to matter. The comprehensive study conducted by environmental watchdogs has analyzed corporate sustainability, reports from the top 20 fossil fuel companies, and the results paint a grim picture. Over 75% of the stated net zero targets lack comprehensive plans for real emissions reduction. Think of it like their climate plan, add a leaf emoji, and hope nobody checks the math. Fossil fuel companies preach the gospel that they are drinking water, yet behind the scenes drinking wine. Don't let green lies fool you. And there you have it. I am Noe Hannah reporting for Wonder TV.